Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on the United States responding to the raid that took place on one of their refugee processing centers on the 16th of December, which is a public holiday in South Africa. Now, before we get into what they've responded with, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. The overwhelming majority of you that regularly watch my content aren't subscribed to this channel. You can do so for free by just clicking the subscribe button below. It'll be greatly appreciated. All right, let's have a look at what the United States has said in response to this raid. Alright, as you can see here, this is from the US State Department. This is the legitimate URL if you want to verify it. I'll post the link in the description and also in the first comment of this video. And it is dated today, December 18th. It says doxing and harassment of American officials by the South African government. Alright, let's have a squiz, shall we? The US condemns in the strongest terms the South African government's recent detention of US officials performing their duties to provide humanitarian support to Afrikaners. Furthermore, the public release of US officials' passport information is an unacceptable form of harassment. This can only be seen as an attempt to intimidate US government personnel in South Africa on official business. The United States will not tolerate such behavior toward its government's officials, or towards many of its citizens, or any of its citizens, who are legally and peacefully operating abroad. The public release of personal identifying information puts the official in harm's way. Failure by the South African government to hold those responsible accountable will result in severe consequences. Severe consequences. We call on the government of South Africa to take immediate action to bring this situation under control and hold those responsible accountable. Now, it looks like DIRCO has responded. If you want to confirm over here, this is DIRCO's website. And they have said, the recent deportation of 7 Kenyan nationals by the Department of Home Affairs was conducted in strict accordance with South African immigration law. These individuals were engaged in work without the necessary work permits. The government will not negotiate its sovereignty and the implementation of the rule of law. Separately, we have noted an unsubstantiated allegation regarding the private information US officials. Let's read that again, shall we? Separately, we have noted an unsubstantiated allegation regarding the private information US officials. Nice one, DIRCO. South Africa treats all matters of data security with the utmost seriousness and operates under stringent legal and diplomatic protocols. We categorically reject any suggestion of state involvement in such actions. Nonetheless, we remain committed to principled and transparent diplomacy. Official channels have been opened with the United States government to seek clarity on the allegation and to reinforce that our bilateral engagements must be grounded in mutual respect and factual dialogue. All right. How did they get access to this thing? How did these individuals that raided these offices get access to this information? How? It says here, white people in South Africa want to do as they please. These US reps had no work permits. And it's posted by, obviously, a fake account. And this is what the United States is talking about with their information being leaked. Now, these blocks are used to blur the information because I don't want to spread this information any further. But the individual posted this with complete details, and you could see the ID number, you could see the face, you could see all the information that can be used to target this individual. So what I would like to know is how exactly did this information, specifically this passport and the photo thereof, how did that go from this person's possession to being on the internet? If this raid that was conducted by the South African government through the Department of Home Affairs, how did they manage to get this information to post it on social media through this anonymous account? How? If you were following the procedures, how is that possible? But anyway, I see that mainstream media has also come out with a story saying US threatens South Africa with serious repercussions over alleged arrest of its officials. Okay, that doesn't sound right, but hey, it is News 24. Let's listen to what they got to say. The United States government has threatened South Africa with severe consequences following a raid at a refugee processing center in Johannesburg that led to the arrest of Kenyan nationals working illegally in the country. In a statement on Thursday, the US accused South African authorities of detaining US officials performing their duties to provide humanitarian support to Afrikaners. The US stated that this could only be seen as an attempt to intimidate its personnel in South Africa on official business. The United States will not tolerate such behavior towards its government officials or towards any of its citizens who are legally and peacefully operating abroad. The public release of personal identifying information puts the official in harm's way, the statement read. The US government added failure by the South African government to hold those responsible accountable will result in severe consequences. On Wednesday, South African authorities expelled the 7 Kenyan nationals who had been found working illegally for an intermediary organization purportedly assisting Afrikaner refugees. However, the authorities confirmed to News 24 that no arrests of American officials were made. Okay, why did you not mention that this passport of this individual was shared publicly on X? Why did you leave that out? I mean, you saw the entire statement by the United States, and you, as the biggest news outlet in South Africa and on African soil, left out the most important part as to why the United States is upset. See, this is why nobody trusts you, because their statement is literally 3 paragraphs, and you still got it right to misinterpret, whether it is done so on purpose, which I highly suspect, or whether it's done by accident, which was also a possibility considering the level of your journalism. Irrespective, you are warping what they are talking about. You are making it seem like they are angry that Kenyans were arrested, when in actual fact they are very upset that an official working for the United States' information is now on the internet for everybody to see. But once again, News 24 being News 24, right? So to just get to the crux of what's going on here, the fact that South Africa responded in that way, not acknowledging any responsibility and just playing the political game, clearly illustrates that they don't know what is about to hit them. The fact that the United States said that there would be severe consequences means that there would be severe consequences. It's not like South Africa or Cyril Ramaphosa or the ANC that when they make a statement, they will never ever follow through with it. This is something that I would say is a very big threat to specifically the government of this country. And listen, doesn't mean that I'm actually against this, because what the United States is more than likely referring to is sanctions against individuals in this country. And if the ANC doesn't want to learn, and if the GNU doesn't want to learn, dan moet hulle voel. That's it. Because I don't know how many times you are still going to poke this bear and think that they aren't going to turn around and rip your head off. I don't understand why South Africa thinks that it's on an equal footing with the United States. It's not. It's not. I've said it before. Our economy is 70 times smaller than the United States. In other words, the United States economy is 70 times larger. South Africa's economy can fit into one of the states of the United States. Now, do we really want to play this stupid game, this pissing contest? And do we really think we're going to win? I'm not saying that we should just allow the United States to walk all over us, but when we do something wrong, can we just not acknowledge that what we did was wrong? Can we not acknowledge the fact that we are a country with 145 race-based laws? We are a country that allows for a song like Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer to be sung. We are a country that has got an expropriation without compensation law. We are a country that is asking people to give away 30% of their companies to black individuals because they are black. Can we just be honest about that? And then can we be honest through the media and through the government itself that a US official's passport was taken, photos were taken of that, and it is now all over social media. And then the government wants to say that we followed procedures. That isn't procedure. And of course, the fact that eyewitnesses that were there admitted and said that they were intimidated and that they were looking around for information. And then the government comes out and says, oh, no, we never did anything like that. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't trust the government. And I'm pretty sure that people will rather believe the people that were there, because what do they have to lose? Why would they lie about what went on at that processing facility? Why would they lie? But you see, this is once again the ANC and the GNU that is bringing South Africa into the situation where the people are going to suffer. The businesses are going to suffer because of arrogance from the ANC and from the GNU government. And then, of course, the blatant misinterpretation of what actually happened by mainstream media that you can see through News 24. But hey, you're going to have tens of thousands of bots on social media that is going to praise the ANC government, talk ill and talk shit about Donald Trump and the United States government, and then people are going to say, oh no, but actually we are right and actually the United States is wrong. Yeah, let's see how this works out. And I have seen this before. Let's go and ask Zimbabwe how this turned out for them when they started getting arrogant and when they started saying, you keep your Britain and we will keep our Zimbabwe. Just like Cyril Ramaphosa said, you stay out of our business and we will stay out of your business. Let's see how this plays out. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button. Share this video far and wide. Don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. And if you enjoy my content and if you enjoy this channel, please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that'll cost you 39.99 Rand every single month. But it's for a good cause, isn't it? And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later. Cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. I went my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre.